Hi guys, it's Matt here from MCS-books, and today I want to do a kind of like what I've been reading wrap up of November sort of thing. I haven't actually made a video for a while now. I've been quite busy with things to do, but I have been reading, and I guess part of the reason I hadn't been making videos was because I was kind of struggling with what to read, and I was having a hard time. I was getting a bit into a reading slump, and the books I was reading just weren't exciting me. There was a lot of like bad books in a row, and I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to carry on. I don't want to have to like keep reading bad books, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I should be doing. But then I picked up like one or two good books, and it got back into a flow. So I've got a selection of books here. Well, actually, I've got 4 books. These are, I guess, what I've read towards the end of November. So I think I picked up the first one towards the end of November, and I've now read 3 of them, and I'm in the middle of reading the last one. So I'll quickly talk through the books and tell you what I thought of them, and yes, that will be it. So the first book that I read towards the end of November was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This is actually the second Neil Gaiman book I've read. I read American Gods first, and then I picked this one up because American Gods was alright, but it was a very slow read, and perhaps it wasn't the best Neil Gaiman book to start with, because I was a bit like, oh, it was a chore a lot of the time to get through. I really appreciated it after I had read it. Like, I think after I'd finished it and I had thought about it and remembered the bits that I did enjoy, I liked it a lot more than the actual process of reading it. So I picked up this one because I was like, oh, it's shorter, it's about like childhood, even though it's for adults, so it'll be like more whimsy and easier to enjoy and stuff. And I did I did enjoy it. I don't think I'd probably only give it like a middling grade, because there were parts of it that I didn't like so much, or I just found boring. But I think that might just be I'm not the biggest fan of Neil Gaiman's writing style, so perhaps he's not the sort of author that I would pick up again in the future. But it was well written, and I did get through it really quickly. There were times where I couldn't put it down, so there was that. I wanted more from it, I guess. And I feel like the blurbs that other authors have given it, the little blurb that Neil Gaiman has given it himself, and there's like a question and answer at the back, which kind of like talked about this book to be something that I didn't feel it was. So yeah, I just feel like he's not the author for me. Next, I picked up from my mum's shelf was actually The Handmaid's Tale, and I've been meaning to read it for a long time, and I've wanted to read it for a while. And of course, like the TV series and everything, it's blown up, so I picked it up and I was like, okay, I read it very quickly. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be. Actually, I think I was expecting more from it, because I had this idea in my head of what the story was going to be like, and then just from like hearing it, or I guess just it was my imagination completely. I completely invented what I thought it was going to be like, and because the book wasn't like that, I don't know, maybe I was a bit disappointed, which is awful, and I shouldn't have done that. But it was really well written, and I did really enjoy it. It was just different, and I need to watch the TV series now, because I couldn't imagine this being adapted into a TV series. Like, there wasn't actually a lot of action that happened. There was just a lot of world building for a long time, and but I liked that, because it was like learning like a history almost, and it didn't particularly need the action, but I guess I was kind of like reading it and waiting for something to happen that never kind of really did happen until like the very end. So I'll be interested to see the TV series, and I did really enjoy this. Now, I've also read The Power by Naomi Alderman, and I can really see how she was inspired by this book, and I did actually prefer The Power, which I think is absolutely understandable, given that The Power was written so many years later, and like it was almost an absorption of this as a material and other texts as materials that kind of like built upon this like genre or this style. And I feel like if Margaret Atwood wrote this now, it would be a very different book, and probably a much better book. But yeah, I did like it, I did enjoy it. So the next book I read was a gift to me from my boyfriend. he gave me the Foundation by Isaac Asimov, which he is obsessed with this author. He's obsessed with these like this series, and he's been wanting me to read it for a long time. So I did, and actually I really liked it. It was so quick to read. It's so easy to get through because it was just action after action after action after action, and like there wasn't much characterization, so sometimes I did get a bit confused about which character was who and stuff, but that wasn't in the plot. There was so much like political intrigue and so much like cunning planning that went on, but didn't like come out until like the end of each part, which I really enjoyed, and it was a very fast read. It did get to the point though where each part was like kind of set up in the same, and it was the same arc over and over again, so you kind of could guess, well, you could guess what was going to happen, but you didn't guess like how it was going to happen, which was good. It was interesting to see how like each one, it worked differently, and like the sort of evolution of the Foundation and how it has like adapted, even though it's doing the same thing over and over, it's adapted to do it in different ways, which I really appreciated. And then my boyfriend's told me that the next ones break from this pattern, which like really intrigues me. So can't wait to read the second and third one, and then I don't know what order they actually go in, because there's a prequel and then some sequel series or something. So that was a good book. The next one, this is what I'm currently reading, and I'm about halfway through it, is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I've been meaning to pick it up for ages because so many people have been talking about it, and yeah, like I think I started it 2 days ago, and I'm a fair bit through, like I'm doing quite well. It's fast paced, it's easy to read, and I'm enjoying that like facet of it, but it is very much, it's written for a specific audience, and it's using tropes, I feel, specifically to cater to that audience in a way that I feel isn't that great. And there's sometimes just bouts of info dumping, which I'm just like, oh, okay, I don't care, you could have written this like as part of the story, you didn't have to like break from the story and then be like, oh, here's some information that you need to know. So like it's just so, I'm getting through it, I am enjoying it when I read it, but sometimes, or quite often, I am rolling my eyes at the same time, like, oh, come on guys, like, yeah, so that's that. But I should be finishing it soon. I also feel like the author actually has been a bit lazy in it. He's basically just used other people's worlds to like create the background for his story, I guess, which is fair enough. It makes sense in the context of the book, but at the same time, like it's kind of annoying. I would like a bit more imagination, I guess, per se, from the author. But again, not bad, just not great. So now that I've finished Ready Player One, hopefully I can keep up this good reading streak and start something new. So I've got 2 books which I am debating which one I should start with. So the first one I think would be either Galileo's Dream by Kim Stanley Robinson. And I think like I could get into this because I picked it up because so many people have raved about him as like a great sci-fi writer, and then after reading Asimov, it's made me want to get into sci-fi a bit more, so this one could be good. And I thought this was like a nice little bridge into sci-fi because it doesn't sound too like space opera-y, if that makes sense. Either that one, or I could go for a short book called Hot Milk by Deborah Levy, which has piqued my interest before. My mum said it was really good, so it's from her shelf actually. So, and I think it would be an easy read, because of course it's short. It was shortlisted for the Goldsmiths Prize and shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. So I think I could get through it quite quickly and nicely. I'm just nervous because I don't think it'll actually be as good as I think it. But I don't have high expectations, so it might be better. So I'm tied. If you guys know, or if you guys have read either one of these or both of these and have any suggestions, please tell me what you think, because I'll be starting one of them soon and I don't know which one to go for, but we shall see. I'll hopefully keep you updated on what I choose and how the rest of my reading is going, and hopefully I'll put some video up soon, probably like another review video of maybe one of the 4 that I've actually read recently. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.